In my mind, worlds collide. Something inside me is gone. Still I keep going on.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It is 3 Days Awesome here, and I'm doing a bit of a different video for you guys today. What makes it different is that this video isn't necessarily for my audience, and more so for the devs at Epic Games, and just whoever I can get to watch this video. Or I'm just hoping this video in general maybe just blows up, and I can get some attention to this video. Because Epic Games, when it comes to this new Godzilla event, we need to talk. There is things that we absolutely need to discuss and things that absolutely need to change. First and foremost, you guys cooked, okay? With the Godzilla stuff, the bundles, the giant Godzilla that players can transform into, the references, the love and detail that was just made for MonsterVerse fans alike and Godzilla fans in general. I appreciate that, especially the MonsterVerse fans part, because the MonsterVerse seems to be it's growing in popularity, and thanks to this collab, it is proof that the IP is popular and is now grown this day. It has grown significantly with this collab. I want to say you guys did an excellent job. However, it can be better. And that's what I want to bring attention today. Because after playing Fortnite all weekend long, and it's still technically going because it's Martin Luther King Day. It's his birthday, right? It's another holiday. So it's basically a 4-day weekend, which is really cool. But after playing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, pretty much just nothing but Fortnite. I do have some complaints, and I do want to see things kind of change moving forward. Moving forward, Godzilla himself. So, at first when he launched, it was a 20% spawn rate for Godzilla. And Kong, I think a little less. I'm not totally sure on the numbers. I think both of them are 20% chance. When Kong would spawn into the lobby, it guaranteed 100% chance spawn rate for Godzilla. But Godzilla is 20%. You heard the uproar and made it 40%, with Kong still being 25%. And that's my overall arcing issue with this entire collab, with this entire event. This event, from what I can see by looking at the Monarch quests, the MonsterVerse quests, it says that they end on January 31st, 2025. So, in my mind, I can only conclude that somewhere around that time, this is when this event's going to end, and Godzilla is going to leave Fortnite forever, or at least for, hopefully, just a long-term break, so to speak. But that's my overall issue, is that even with you guys increasing it to 40%, I still can't get Godzilla. I still can't get him to spawn in my lobby. Even yesterday, as I am making this video on Monday, we played for 7 hours, and there was a good 7-8 games where Godzilla didn't spawn, and Kong didn't spawn that entire day. You gotta think that with a lobby that holds 100 players, and only one player of that 100 can be Godzilla, you would think that maybe the spawn rate for Godzilla would be a little bit more consistent than that, so that everyone has a chance. I don't know how to do the math on it. I hope someone out there does the math, but basically, I was hoping that someone do the math on how many people are not able to be Godzilla. The percentage of players, how many percent is not able to be Godzilla during this entire event. And I imagine that number is really high. I imagine there's a huge percentage of people that will not ever get to be Godzilla. And that's my overall problem, and it comes down to the spawn rate for Godzilla, when Godzilla spawns on the map, and just how long you get to be Godzilla. These are a number of factors that kind of impact the fun of this entire event. Because for me, as a giant Monsterverse fan, it's really cool when somebody else does get Godzilla, and because you get to admire the skin. It's like, it's the most craziest thing ever, and it's fun. It's fun by itself. But it's still stressful, because the thing is, when you're trying to fight Godzilla as a player, you have other people to worry about who are really, really sweaty. And it takes the fun out of it, because you probably spent 7 hours of your day trying to find Godzilla, and when you finally do, not only did you not get to be Godzilla because the portal spawned so far away from you, or you just got it ripped away from you, now you have players on top of that trying to beat you and trying to kill you as well, and it just kind of takes the fun out of the way. When you do get the Godzilla alert thing on your screen, it's stressful rather than exciting, because it's like this can go a number of different ways, which a lot of those ways you're not going to survive this. And sometimes when you do able to be Godzilla, you're just so excited that, at least for me in my experience, that I didn't really know what to do with myself, and I only maybe walked off 2 kills and was absolutely just destroyed by the entire lobby, just focusing in on me. And these things probably wouldn't be an issue if Godzilla spawned more frequently. And like I said, yesterday, Kong didn't spawn once. During an 8-hour session, you would think 25%, you should probably encounter Kong. You have a chance to encounter Kong every 4 games, right? None of that happened yesterday, just by itself. Well, let's get back to circle back to Godzilla here. Overall issue is the spawn rate. If Godzilla spawned 100% of the time, like it probably should be for this limited time event in Fortnite that's going on right now, it would be fine. I think it would be less stressful, and there'll be 100% more opportunities to encounter Godzilla and to beat Godzilla. The one thing I can't understand is why. Because the factors that we have to look into here is that Godzilla spawns early in the game. And I would argue that Godzilla needs a buff of some kind. So he's not technically very OP. You have a limited time with him, and the whole lobby hones in on you because you're such a massive target. You're going to take damage, and lots of damage, like no matter what happens. And there's no chance to bring Godzilla to the end game circle. None, because he spawns first storm close-in. There is absolutely no chance to bring Godzilla to the end circle. So this isn't a game-breaking mechanic added to the game. It's not, because it's not overpowered, because you can't do anything with it because you're on a timer. When Godzilla spawns, you can't bring him to the end game collapse. It's not overpowered. So why is Godzilla 40% spawn? I would argue it's not even 40%, given the fact that 40%, you got to think, that's a big percentage. That's almost 50-50 right there. It's almost a 50% odd. And I rarely encounter him. I rarely get the chance. I think the spawn rate needs drastically to be increased. That can kind of just destroy other issues I have with it. So what, you became Godzilla and you got melted by the lobby? Well, if it was 100% spawn rate, it wouldn't hit as bad. And if 100%, more people can be Godzilla and probably be Godzilla more frequently. There's things you can do to change it. Rather, if you didn't want to do 100% spawn rate, why can't we just move the Godzilla portal to spawn randomly throughout the match instead of just guaranteed at the beginning of the match? Like, it's not a game-breaking feature necessarily. I think it just needs to be totally random. Like, okay, so a portal opens up and there's 20 people alive. I mean, why not? It's not totally just... It's not the most game-breaking thing ever. And it's fun at the end of the day, I would say. And I'm not, man, I want to be more, I want to play as Godzilla more. I want to encounter Godzilla more. I want other people to enjoy this new feature in Fortnite that developers have spent unrealistic hours to try to beat deadlines to accomplish for it to be gone in like 2 weeks. That's ridiculous. No, it needs to be 100% of the time. It doesn't change the game that much. It doesn't change the game that much at all. Because if you keep Godzilla at the beginning of the match, it changes nothing for the entire match in general. Everyone's going to flock to Godzilla and try to get the Godzilla medallion, but there's people who don't want anything to do with it. They don't have to engage with Godzilla. So it doesn't change anything at all to have Godzilla spawn 100% of the time. It doesn't. It doesn't need to be that way. I think the third and last thing that needs to be changed with Godzilla is that I don't think taking damage from other players should impact your and total playtime with Godzilla. You can still have the mechanic feature of doing the most damage to Godzilla is rewarded the medallion. But you can do that in a way where it doesn't take away the player's playtime as Godzilla. Because like I said, everyone's going to you. Everyone's going to attack you. And if it's not everyone, it's a huge, huge portion of the lobby is coming for you and will do damage to you. And you will, what is that, a 5-minute timer to be Godzilla? Well, now that got shaved down to 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes to be Godzilla because everyone's doing damage to you. And everyone's got bubble shield, so you can't do your range attack very well. And you move like a snail because, well, you're Godzilla. That makes sense. But that needs to be changed. So overall, I think the things that need to be changed is change Godzilla's spawn rate to 75%. So that way when Kong does spawn, and it is a guaranteed 100% chance. Or have them just both be 100%. I don't know. I just think that's such a weird thing that they kind of did there. And, you know, so far in this entire weekend, I got to play it once. My girlfriend got to play Godzilla once. And my friend got to play Godzilla once. And that is a total of a weekend that we were playing. And in between playing, work obligations as well. So overall, I would say maybe a little over 24 hours of gameplay. If you add all the sessions we did, we got to be Godzilla like total 3 times, divided between all 3 of us. And I think that's nonsense. And I think that needs to change, especially if this is not going to go away soon. So please, Epic Games, hear my cries. Hear my cries. We need this to change for the better. I think it has no negative consequences on the game to have Godzilla spawn 100% of the time, every time, and to change the damage and health system to Godzilla. So that way, it is just way more fun. It's way more enjoyable. And I think it's a better quality of life change that I don't think you guys realize that we need. But anyways, if anyone has stick to the end of this, I do appreciate your time. I do appreciate your commitment to the 3daysawsome channel. And if you're a dev, I appreciate your commitment to Epic Games and Godzilla. I appreciate it a lot. This is just coming from a diehard fan of the IP, of both the Godzilla the character and the Monsterverse version of the character. We just want more Godzilla. Forever. If you can make it forever, then screw this video. If it's a forever game mode, then hell yeah. Let's do it. But otherwise, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. And as always, stay awesome.
In my mind, worlds collide. Something inside me is gone. Still I keep going.